Just two degens doing their thing. Let's take a look at N3MO's full cycle. What is up, everyone? Chris the Dice Degen here. Welcome back to my channel. You get to see me twice on screen today. Interesting concept, right? In bottom left corner, top right corner. What I'm going to be doing today is a little voiceover of a video that myself and N3MO put together with his strategy, the full cycle. All right, so if you guys don't know who N3MO is already, he's always in the crapsies, putting out a lot of strategies, making you think in a different way. All right, so we talk through quite a few things in the video, but I want to stop it at certain points and explain why we're doing certain things and what is going on with this full cycle. All right, so you're going to have me talking this way. You're going to have me talking in the video. You're going to hear N3MO coming through as well. So hope you guys enjoy. All right, if you guys like the voiceovers, let me know down below in the comments, and hopefully it's a good video. Let's run it, and like I said, I'm going to stop it at different times to see. To make some comments here and there. And in full disclosure, this video will be a couple parts. All right, so this will be part one. Part two will be the second half of the rollout, and then part three will be a special part that I will put out soon. All right, without further ado, let's talk to our favorite degen and the N3MO degen. With N3MO, all right, two degens rolling out a strategy here. And we did N3MO's full or half cycle last time. I'll put a card to it up above if you haven't seen it. And today we're going to be running the full cycle. And we have N3MO here. So N3MO, how are you today?
Yeah, what's up, you fellow degens? What's going on?
Got a lot of degens in the house today. Yeah, today we're going to be running the full cycle. All right, so did the half cycle. It was like a modified iron cross. Today we're going to be doing the full cycle. We're gonna roll it out. We'll talk about kind of the intuition part of it with why we're thinking of doing certain things. And let's hope this wins. Let's hope it does well. We have a 5,000...
the intuition part, but you have to also think about it this way. There's always a reason behind them.
Yes.
Not only in the intuition, but also the reason why these bets that we give you guys come out for a reason. Because it sounds like a hedge from the half cycle, if you look at the video. But at the same time, what this does, when it cycles through, it'll start to make sense. So let's go.
All right, let's do it. So just to quickly explain, it's going to be 100 on the DP, 100 in the field. We're doing a $52 4 and 10, $75 5 and 9, $90 6 and 8. Working on the come out. So I'm going to get that set up. And while I'm setting that up, what's it called? You can play this down at any level. All right, you can scale it down. We're playing at the black chip level for ease, but you can scale it really to anything you want. I will get that. And what N3MO was saying while I was talking there is hop in the reds, $30 each. So we'll add those hops in
30,
there.
30, 30. Hop in the reds, and then we need caps here, and I'm gonna get some singles for these reds. So we can do the 52 on the 4 and 10. Reason we're doing 52 on the 4 and 10 is so that once the vig is taken out, we can collect a black chip. All right, you ready to go?
Let's go.
Let's grab some dice. Here we go. Coming out. And we have a 3-2-5 on the come out. 3-2.
Perfect.
3-2-5. All right, we'll mark the 5. Hops fall.
Yeah,
Field falls.
protection.
We're going to get paid $105 for that 5.
So real quick, I just want to pause there. So you heard N3MO say in the background that was protection. The hopping reds was protection for all the bets that we had out there. So obviously we have a pretty big across bet with a field and a DP. So the reason we're hopping the reds, it doesn't fully cover what is out there, but it comes close to covering. So if we do get a come out 7, it doesn't hurt us. That's why the hop reds are there for protection.
100 back in the field, correct? 5 back to the rack. And any changes, or are we just leaving it right here right now?
Hold on, let's make some change, because now, see, this is where my thought's going to break in right now. We lost the field, right? Even though we replaced it with a cycle of the 5, right?
Yep.
This is where the brain starts to hurt a little. So you have to understand the mindset where I'm going with this, right? So there's opportunity and chances of the field. If you look at it this way, 5, 6, and 8, that's where it breaks us. 7, 2 breaks us, right? So we're looking at 4 numbers that'll kill us right now. But the 7 will help us only on the DP, while the other bets will die off if a 7 were to come out. So you have to think about that, right?
Yep.
So let's push this to another level. Let's take the field at 300 now and take a DC of 100.
Okay.
Hoping that we hit the outside numbers or one of the horns as a bonus.
Yep. All right, let's do it. So 300
Let's go.
field, $100 DC, and then we still have our cross bet, obviously 100 on the don't pass. Here we go.
All right, so the reasoning behind the field there is it's a Marty +1. So if you're martingaling, right, you double whatever you had in the field. So if you were truly martingaling, it would be 200 in the field. However, we're doing a Marty +1, so we're making it look like 300, and that's to recoup the loss plus get a little juice on the outside numbers or a horn if we can get it. Let's find out what happens.
Roll number 2. And it looks like a 426. 426.
That'll hurt a little.
Yep. So DC is going to travel behind. We get knocked in the field there. 90 is going to pay 105. So what's our next call?
700 field, 300 DC.
All right, notice how he said it without hesitation. $700 field, $300 DC. Now, I understand that this can be rich for some people's blood, so like I said, you can scale this down, but the reason why is the intuition part's kicking in, right? 2 non-field numbers in a row. They're hoping that a field number will come, right? But the other thing is also increasing the DC proportionately. So the DC is on one level down from the Marty +1 in the field. And the thought process there is that hopefully we can get a field number to hit, right? And it's like a double dip if we can get a field number to hit. Because if we get a horn, 2, 3, or 12 as part of the horn, right, we get paid both ways. If we get an 11, we do lose in the DC, but we get paid in the field. And then if we hit a 4, 9, or a 10, preferably the 4 or the 10, right, they have less combinations to roll, so we're getting paid in the field. Plus, we have a heavy DC on a number with fewer combinations. So that's the thought process there. Obviously, if an inside number comes, you're getting knocked both ways, but that's kind of why it's structured the way it is. So the field's in a Marty +1 at level 3, and then the DC right now is at level 2 because that DC traveled behind the 6. So I just wanted to clarify that and kind of help understand why we're doing what we're doing here.
700 field, $300 DC.
Mm-hmm. So it's a martingale +1.
Yep. And place bets are still on and working, right?
Yep.
All right, here we go.
We're just hoping for a few numbers here.
Yep.
I'm kind of like racking my brain over it.
Here we go. And 628. 6-2.
Oh, that's gonna hurt more.
So field's gonna get knocked for 700. 300 is gonna travel behind the 8. We are gonna get paid 105 for that place bet. What are we doing now?
If you're like me, I'm already thinking 2 directions here.
Okay.
But there's a couple numbers that are going through my head right now. So what are you thinking at this point? You lost 700 in the field, right? And right now we're slowly etching around the outside numbers. We're close to that part. But we're teeter-tottering here,
Yep.
right? So think about this not only in intuition but math law of averages, but at the same time these other processes that are going to run through your head. And look at your bankroll too, right? How much has already been knocked off,
About 1,000.
right?
Yeah.
So at this point in time, with this much left, what's the boiling point in order for us to at least recoup and recover, if not do better? What's the situation now?
I have a feeling you're Marty +1 in the field again.
But the problem is, how much is in our bankroll?
3,000, call it 3,100. 3,200.
Okay, so we only have one shot at this, right? So what's the Marty plus one in the field? 700, right?
It'd be 1,500.
Times 2, 1,500.
Yep.
Right? So we have only one shot at this, right? And a DC
Yeah.
at 100.
Yep.
Because this has to hit something. But remember, what's going to hurt us in the end? So this is the other gut call. And you have to think about this. What's the gut situation?
Well, the 7 would be brutal. Or an inside number. A 6 or an 8 would absolutely be terrible for this. If you Marty plus 1 in the field again. Because you're going to knock the field and you're going to knock your DC.
So what would be a recovery plan for this? Let's do this. Let me throw this one in here.
Okay.
Even though, yeah, we're going to have our place bets on, right? And this is where the risk comes in. We're going to do a $700 come bet with a $100 field. I know it sounds odd and it's going to throw everything out of the whack, but trust me on this. This might save us.
All right, so $700 come, 100 in the field, no DC.
There you go.
All right.
All right, so switching off of the full cycle there a little bit. All right, so the thing with the full cycle, right, is you're looking to cycle bets. Same thing with the half cycle. You're coming through the come, you're coming through the DC. Up to you how you want to play it, right? That's kind of based on your intuition, based on how the table is rolling and what you think is going to be best. So the reason why that the come bet is going out there now instead of a DC and we're going down on the field is that 7. All right, so this is obviously coming up as roll number 4. But with a $1,500 field, and then if you went Marty plus 1 in the DC for 700, first of all, the entire bankroll would almost be out there, and the 7 would be absolutely brutal, right? Yeah, you get paid on the 6 and the 8 DCs, and you get paid on the don't pass, but the 7 would be brutal there. So the switch now is coming full cycle, right? And we're going into the come now with a little 7 protection. Obviously, whatever number that travels to is not great. Because you can't take that bet down. The DC bets you can take down. But we're coming into the come now. We have a field bet. A yo would be beautiful here. We'll see what happens, though. But I just wanted to explain that we're now, since we were heavy against the 7, now we're leaning into the 7 a little bit. All right? Here we go.
Here we go.
Let's go.
Looks like a hard 4, 2-2.
Ooh, why did my gut instincts tell me that we should have?
And now, right, you're going to hear us chat a little bit, but hindsight's 20/20 in every case, right? So if we would have stayed in the field for the $1,500 plus a $700 DC, we'd be sitting relatively pretty because we would have hit our field and we'd have a heavy DC on a number with very few combinations. So just food for thought there. The other thing is always be careful playing Marty's. In general, all right, they can pay off nicely. However, you do have to have a big bankroll to back them up.
And that 15 on the field.
I had it counted out because I thought that's where you're going with it, but all right.
Why did you not stop me? You know, 2 heads are better than 1, right?
It's your strategy, brother.
It may be my strategy, but hey, you know, you as yourself should also do the same thing too.
Yeah. Load up the odds. I'll put 200.
Oh, I clicked to the wrong spot. All right, sorry about that. Now you're going to get to see some extra rolls here that are already coming. The thing that I wanted to say quickly, though, is that I had the 1,500 counted out, right? It wasn't time for me to go full DGen, 4 rolls in. With 1,500 in the field and another 700 in the DC, you would have been your entire $5,000 almost on the table or in the bank already. All right, so even if I felt that a field number was coming, because 3 non-field numbers in a row, if you've played enough craps, you know that 3 non-field numbers in a row doesn't mean a field number's coming next. All right, it's like roulette, right? You have 4 reds in a row, doesn't guarantee a black's coming next. Okay, so with the field especially and other bets like that, when you're doing the Marty, that's why I said you need a big bankroll, right? If you have an unlimited bankroll, you can last by doing it, provided you don't have the insane streak of just non-field numbers in a row. The thing is, with this progression, right, with the Marty plus 1, we started at 100. We went to 300. We went to 700. We went to 1500. The next level of that would be over 3000. Then you're looking at like 6500. Then from there, you're just going to keep going up and going up and going up. So if you get, let's say, 8 non-field numbers in a row, you're going to have a massive bet in the field. The other thing that comes into play here is your table max. Okay? Most casinos do not have a table max over, I think the highest I've seen recently is $5,000. All right, but most casino maxes are, let's call it 2,000. All right, my local's 2,000, so we'll call it 2,000. So even if you're getting into that Marty +1, you run into the issue of not being able to actually place the next level bet if you have the money because of the table limits.
Yeah. All right, so we have a $700 come on the 4 now. We got paid in the field, and we got paid for our $52. We're getting paid $104. It's going to turn into 102 after the VIG.
What's actually
101 after the VIG, yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
All right.
101. So we got the field. So then we still leave the field, but then let's go 100 DC, hoping that a 4 shows up.
Yep. Are we taking our place bet down on the 4? Or are we leaving it there?
Leave it there.
Okay.
I think I have confidence that you're not going to hit it.
The place bet on the 4?
No, I'm talking about that one particular number I don't want showing up right now.
Oh. All right, here we go. Oof, yikes. That's the number you didn't want.
Yeah, it is.
God.
It's a 6-1.
It showed up.
Yep.
Destroyed everything.
It showed up, but we have some bankroll here that we can play with still. So I'm gonna take this down. Obviously, we got knocked big there.
Yeah.
But we have some room to play here. We still have some room to play. So $700 gets knocked. This 4 here. All right, so this DC is going to come down and get paid. This DC is going to come down and get paid, and our DP will get paid.
So we're picking up
so
pennies after losing a decent amount there, but we'll see what happens
right
coming
now,
back.
Our rack looks like 2, 3. Call it right around 3,500.
Okay, not bad. Not bad.
Down 1,500
All right,
if you
so
keep
We'll
track.
recover this.
Yep.
This can be the ugly part of it. See if we can get the beauty side of it.
I'm going to try.
All right, set it up.
Yep, I'm setting the same thing up now. Just counting out some chips because I need some more green chips because I used all of them last time.
Let's hypercycle this. Let's do it now.
All right, so now we're going to be transitioning into a more degenerate version of the full cycle. All right, we're going to be going into this, what Nemo's calling the hyper cycle. So you guys are going to see how this plays out, but it's basically taking the full cycle and ramping it up a little bit more. All right, so you guys will see it, how it works out. I don't want to explain it too much before we actually do it because I want to talk through why we're doing it. So let's keep it going.
Let's hypercycle.
But hyper cycle time.
Since we showed the full cycle in its ugliness, let's hypercycle.
So this is like 2 strategies in one.
All right.
2 strategies in one video.
At the place of 100, including the DP. It's gonna sound nuts.
So we're pass line for 100?
Yeah.
All right, so now we got a little do we don't action going in there.
Okay. 100 in the field, and then we have our 52, 75, 99.
Quickly, though, the thing with the do we don't, right, it lets you kind of pick and choose what you want to do with whatever the point is. All right, so obviously a 12 hurts you on the do we don't, but otherwise, 3 comes out, 2 comes out, it doesn't matter, 11 comes out, 7 comes out, it doesn't matter, they're going to wash. If you get an outside number, you can always load up on your DP odds. If you have an inside number and you don't like the don't pass on it, you can always pull the don't pass down. Not recommending that, but I'm just saying that's why you do the do we don't, because it gives you a little bit of flexibility and you kind of get to almost see what the point's going to be before you actually have to make a decision on whether you want to be on the pass line or don't pass line. The pass line you can't pull down, but you can add odds to your don't pass to cover that. But then again, if you hit your point, it's a wash either way with the do we don't because you're going to lose your don't pass, you win on the pass line. If a 7 comes, you win on the don't pass, you lose your pass line.
90.
Yep.
And hopping reds for 90.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Let's go.
Let's go 415 on the come out. 4-1.
Back on the point of 5.
Okay.
Back on the point of 5.
Wow,
So
it's almost
hops are
like I
gonna
knew that
fall,
was coming.
Field will fall. And we will get paid 105 for that 75. All right.
We're doing 3, 4, 5.
Yeah, 3, 4, 5 X odds.
Let's do 2. Let's do 4. So 400 on the DP since we're in that phase right now.
So 400 on the DP. So we'll let you want to lay 600 to win 400, or do you want to lay 400?
No, not late. Add the odds on the DP.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Odds to win or odds at 400 or odds to win 400?
Odds at 400 to win 300. Right? If it makes sense on the payout.
Yeah, it's 3 pays 2. So
And here you can see me doing some math in my head while we're doing it. The thing that we're looking for here is we're going to go odds on our DP, of course. But I was trying to figure out, did Nemo want to win 400 or do you want to lay 400? Because 400 is an improper bet for the odds. So we're going to drop it down to 300 just because, 3 pays 2 on the odds. So we have
At the phase, it'll do us fine.
$300 in odds.
And then 100 back in the field.
100 on the field.
Okay.
So it's not right now. It's not as horrendous since we're now backing it up with an odd.
Yep. And then 100 in the DC.
Under DC 100 come bet this time.
Okay.
So it's double in the phase.
So you have like a little double Dewey don't going on here. So Dewey don't on the pass line, don't pass. Dewey don't in the come and the don't come. What I will say with this is if you're going to play something like the hypercycle, you do have to be careful because some casinos will not allow you to do this. My local won't allow you to do a Dewey don't. And I know for a fact they won't let you put money in the come and the don't come at the same time. So the reason why a lot of casinos don't do it too is not necessarily that you're advantaged, but let's say you have an 8 rolled next, right? The come bet travels to the 8, the DC travels to the 8. You can pull your DC down, right? So it gives you a little bit of advantage there. I just be careful with the Dewey don'ts because a lot of casinos won't let you do it. So if you fully intend on doing Dewey don'ts, make sure your casino lets you do a Dewey don't.
All right, so we're going Dewey don't again.
Yes.
All right, here we go.
This is where the hypercycle starts to come in.
Sounds good. Let's see what happens. We got a 5-3-8. 5-3.
Perfect.
All right, so no field. Combat's going to travel to the 8. DC's going to travel behind the 8. And the 8 will pay 105.
Okay, so let's take some lessons from last time, right?
Yeah.
You actually ever hit the number back to back?
I did not, no.
So if we do a EP of what? Another 300, it'll give us 250.
On the odds of 5 or on the 8 now?
Just leave that one be. Leave
Okay.
that one be for now.
All right.
Yeah, without worrying about the odds for the moment.
Okay.
And then we'll see how it goes. So let's go ahead back on the come and DC and come bet, then add a $300 field.
All right. Here we go. Looks like a 6-5 yo.
Perfect.
All right, so
Even
DC will fall, but it gets paid in the come, and then the field will win 300 flat.
That's a good deal.
Yep.
It's a better deal.
All right,
That actually helped actually.
it did. So where are we going now?
So since that come and DC push, let's go ahead and put those back. Same thing, come and DC,
Yep.
and then let's drop the field back to 100.
Okay.
And see how it goes from there.
And take 500 back to the rack.
Hey.
All right, here we go.
It's a win. Let's go.
Back to back, 6-5.
At least it's 100 this time.
Yep. So 100 in the field. These two bet. This would lose. This would pay. So it's going to be pushed there. He's going to reset it.
Yeah.
Keep it the same. Take 100 back to the rack.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's go.
Here we go. And we got a 4-3 red.
Even better.
So we're gonna. Yeah. I think so. Let's see.
Yeah, it's even better. It is better. Check how much it lost versus how much it wins.
Well, it lost because we had a field, pass line, and a DC.
Right.
You lost 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You lost 7, and then you're getting back. Seven, so it's a push.
It's a push.
Yeah.
So
Plus-
that's even better.
Plus that field win.
There you go.
So we made a little bit back there now because our rack's at 2, 3. We're about the same. We're at 34.50. Call it 34.75.
Oh, we made a little bit of money.
Yeah, a little
Better
bit.
It's better than losing a whole lot more.
All right, running the same thing again.
Let's hypercycle. This is what's good about the hypercycle now, since now I'm adding a few elements to it. Full cycle we already did. Hypercycle, this is just going to make things a little bit more crazier.
All right, let's do it.
I can't believe I'm debuting the full and then the hypercycle at the same time. Because normally I wanted to hold this hypercycle, but put me into no choice the way this is going.
All right, so the hypercycle is basically the full cycle, but you're adding in the do we don't. So that's the difference. There's also the Marty. It's still there, but it's not as easily triggered, we'll say, because you are getting paid in a couple other areas they don't get paid in the full cycle. So the full cycle is basically, the hyper cycle is basically the full cycle with the addition of a do we don't. Just counting out some chips.
All right, so 100 DP, 100 pass line, 100 field, 90 hop in the reds, and then back to the normal setup on the across bet. Yep.
Yeah. 434.
Yeah, 434, 52 on the 4 and
All
10,
right.
75 on the
Here
5
we
and
go.
9, 90 on the 6
Shooter.
and 8.
Coming out. Looks like a 5-1-6 on the come out.
Okay.
All right, so that'll pay there. Lose the field, we lose the hops.
Here's what I want to ask the people, right? Here's what's special about contract bets. You could actually add on, right? Think about it. So instead of so we're sitting pretty happy if a red were to come out, but remember, if we were to make the point, we get whacked.
Yeah.
So what's our choices?
Are you saying you want to go more light side this time?
I got intuition because it's the 6 and 8, right?
Yeah.
You're gonna find this pretty strange for coming from me, right?
Yeah.
200 on the pass line as odds.
200?
Yeah.
All right.
So this is where the do we don't comes into play.
100 back.
I'll stop myself talking right here. Do we don't comes into play here because, like I said, right, you can pick and choose which way you want to go with this whole thing. Now, if you wanted to pull your DP, you can here. Up to you. But since 6 or the 8's the point, right? N3MO wants to go more into the light side type strategy, pull put the odds on the pass line instead of the DP this time. So that's why the do we don't, you can kind of pick and choose where you are, again, if your casino allows it.
In the field?
100 back on the field, but this time 100 on the straight come bet.
100 on the come. All right, so we're alternating a little bit. We're going a little bit light side now. And you still want that DP bet up, right?
DP's the contract. It's still.
You can pull the DP down if you want.
Really? We
Yeah.
can.
Yeah, DP you can pull down. DP and DC you can no action them. You can pull them down if you want.
Actually, keep that and actually add the DC. Let's do we don't, but actually we're going to see how this pulls. I want to see how this hypercycle pulls this time.
All right, here we go.
Really polarized.
Hard 8. 4-4.
Perfect.
All right, so come travels, DC travels. We lose the field. We're going to get paid 105 though for that bet. Are we bumping the field to 300? And do we doling again?
All right, let's see. Now we're going to put a 200 odd on the 8 on the come.
200 on the come.
Again, you could pull down that DC if you wanted.
We're going to also do a 300 field.
Yep.
And then, yeah, come and don't come at the same time, 100.
Okay.
See how it goes.
All right, here we go. Looks like an ace deuce. 3 craps.
Perfect.
So we lose the
300 in
come,
the field.
but that gets paid there. We win 300 in the field. All right,
And we
so
have the DC.
we're
Pushes on the come though.
it loses in the come, but it wins in the DC. So I'm just gonna keep that as a push. 500 coming back to the rack. Field drops down to 100.
Yeah, that would be a smart move. We want to rack up profit.
Yeah, so field comes back. So we have a $100 field, $100 come, $100 DC. And then obviously the across bet, $100 come 8 with 200 odds. DC on the 8, and then a DP and a pass line with odds.
Yep.
All right,
Let's see what happens.
here we go.
See if it switches.
6-5, yo.
$100.
Yep. So again, for those watching at home, this falls, gets paid there. Replacing it, field wins 100. Rack the 100 and repeat.
Let's go.
All right.
It's a repeat.
Ace deuce. So same thing again, just the opposite way. This would
Still
lose,
pays us.
but this would get
Still pays
paid.
100.
This comes back, field win 100. All right.
Let's go.
Here we go. And we got a 6-1-7.
Wrong
6-1.
direction.
So that one hurts us because we lose here. We're going to lose all of this. We're going to lose this, this, and this.
It's best to see the ugly side of this. We know what to do with the next side. Right?
Yeah. So we lost
It's
8.
a little bit more hefty on the loss.
It's a big loss. That's 5,
I think that's
8,
almost 1,000.
12,
Oh shoot.
12, and then we get 300 back, so you lose like 900 total.
Okay.
All right.
900 versus what do we win there?
Oh no, you lose 1,200. You won 300 back. So net loss is 900.
But then our other stuff, it doesn't count as a loss. So. Okay, so what's our rack count? Should be about even.
About $3,000.
$500 loss. Okay,
Yep.
so we're a little bit heavy. Okay, so let's push it on the DP 300 this time.
Okay.
And
All right, so video's been going on for a while now. I'm gonna cut it here, and I'll make it a part 2. In part 2, right? I already know what's coming because I already recorded this video with N3MO. So in part 2, right, we're gonna see if the full cycle combined with the hypercycle can come back. All right, right now we're down about $1,500 in the bankroll, but you can kind of start to see how Nemo's mind is changing, right? So in the beginning, we went full cycle, debuting that strategy. After we got knocked a little bit, then we're going to go hyper cycle. The table was not really trending light side, but Nemo was feeling the light side push a little bit. Didn't work. So in the next part, we're going to go dark to try to kind of make up for that. All right. So this is part one, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you guys think of this strategy down below. Part two will be out shortly. It'll be the same format. All right. It's just going to be the same video. I'm going to do a voiceover on that as well. And we will get the full cycle, the hyper cycle, all out there. All right, get you guys thinking about it in different ways. What I will say with this is, do be careful when you're playing strategies with that kind of bankroll. All right, if you're gonna play something like this, I would highly recommend a higher bankroll than $5,000. So do keep that in mind. Or if you're gonna play it with a couple $1,000s, drop it down to like a green chip level or a red chip level, and or you could even play something like this on bubble craps. Up to you guys what you want to do, but just remember, guys, everyone has a little degen in them, and Nemo's got a big degen in him, and but we love him for it. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.